Tonight, Pulp mixes music and manuscripts. I talk to one of my rock chick heroines about her autobiography. We look at Salman Rushdie's best-selling book about pop. A Mancunian maestro guides me through rock classics. And a chamber group review new release, The Drowning People. This is the video for Hairstyle by happening Manchester band Goldblade. I talked to their lead singer, who's also an author, John Robb. I'm here at Waterstones Deansgate with writer, artist, musician, DJ, singer,
yeah, keep
John
going,
Robb.
keep going, yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
To talk about some great classic and new titles in the rock book genre.
Yeah.
John.
Book here about Courtney Love, it's like, this is not bad actually, it's all right, but it's how far close you get to the real story, Courtney, you know, I think she controls her own story quite a lot. I think she should definitely be writing her own book, you know. Bez's Memories of the Happy Mondays, not sure how much you can remember.
Freaky Dancing.
It's a really good book though.
Right,
yeah.
And have you read it?
I have read it, yeah.
Is it new?
It came out about 3 months ago. I was speaking about it and he couldn't believe he actually managed to write a book, you know. There's a
Revolution in the Head.
Yeah, this is about how the Beatles wrote all their songs. Some aspects of this book are really irritating about how the 60s were the greatest era of all time,
right.
And how modern music's a load of rubbish and the Beatles are the greatest band of all time. It's a load of bollocks, really, isn't it?
Right, take that one away too. Well, some homegrown stars here, Morrissey and Marr.
It goes right down to the roots where they grew up. I like them kind of books where it goes right down to the band to the beginning and kind of some books that you can't get that information. I mean, he didn't get the interviews with the people, but he still wrote a really good book out of it.
Though a major player on the rock book scene, John was modest about his own books.
Yeah,
John
rubbish.
Robb,
Yeah,
like that, yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of books that I write. Yeah.
Tell us about
Works
both
of genius. Yeah.
This one is older, isn't it? When did
This one came out 2 years ago. Yeah.
And it's still selling well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a key band at the times, isn't it? I mean, so many British guitar bands are taking their sort of due from the Stone Roses 7 that they sort of invented that kind of way of playing guitar pop music. So any band that sort of breaks through now, you get into them and you find out this is the roots. You have to go and read about them. This is the book to read about it in.
Wicked Speed is the keenly awaited life story of Annie Nightingale, radio's #1 queen. What made you want to get onto Radio 1 specifically?
Because I had
an ambition.
Oh, well, it became a total sort of fixation as well. I was absolutely, because they said no.
Right.
They said disc jockeys are husband substitutes. Really? And I just thought, this is crazy. You know, I'd been a TV presenter, worked for magazine, newspapers and all that. There'd never been any problem about being a female, so I couldn't see what was so special about radio that you had to be male. A lot of what this book really, hopefully, is about, you know, you can do it.
With your autobiography, I mean, looking back over your life, what do you think was for you, the most exciting era for music?
Actually, recently.
Really?
Yeah, I think that the 90s, that's why I've written quite a lot about acid house, because I actually think it's very important. It has produced literature, film, obviously music, changed music completely and forever. They took me on, you know, this is what I've said in this book, that, you know, when acid house happened, I've been around for a long time anyway, and for them then to kind of go, yeah, join in and come on and DJ at our clubs, and I thought it was brilliant.
I've been a fan for a long time.
Oh!
My last question is, will you autograph my book?
I'd be absolutely thrilled. You got a pen? This is the first copy that I've signed.
Oh my God, thank you. And at #1, Salman Rushdie, The Ground Beneath Her Feet. The Ground Beneath Her Feet is the latest novel by Salman Rushdie. About the redemptive power of music and love, we gave it to new pop duo Franklin.
Woke up the sound of my TV. I left it on just to suit me. Oh, what the hell am I wearing? I've really gone past caring. All I do is think about you. All I do.
Too big, too many words, too many pages. But yeah, I got through it, and for that I got to pat myself on the back. It was, thank you. It's the story of two Indian pop stars who become bigger than the Beatles. Now, musically, it's very accurate, and you can tell that he's a music fan. You can tell that he likes music, and he likes musicians. But I wasn't convinced that he was liking it with his heart.
I am very African and black in my view and perception on life. Stephen, of course, being a white man, hears things as a white
Allegedly.
man. He thinks very much, well, yes.
That is part of the dynamic of us. I mean, we are so opposite, but in that.
But the mixture comes out in our music. The flavour of that comes out in our music, and the passion of ourselves comes out in our music.
So as what we're into is passion, basically, and things that, which I think, going back to this book, I read the book and I was annoyed with him at the end because I didn't feel his passion. I felt that his passion was going through his head and not his heart.
I did an interview with the writer Salman Rushdie in London for a Canadian magazine called Shift. And I had the inkling before I did the interview, that I might want to do a movie that reflected in some way his situation. That is to say, a writer who had written something that he felt was relatively innocent and suddenly found himself condemned to death. And we talked about many things, including a discussion about whether games could be art. Could an artist be a game designer? Could a game designer be an artist?
Death to the demoness Allegra Geller! No!
She's on the run with a security guard who just by accident happens to be with her.
Hey. What are you doing?
Where's your bioport? Oh, don't tell me you've never been fitted. I can't believe it.
No, I was never fitted with a bioport. What do you care?
Well, you want to get into the biz and you've never played one of my games? You've never played any game.
Look, I've been dying to play your games. But I have this phobia about having my body penetrated surgically.
It's all really an attempt to fuse with the fantasy and make it real and make it physical and make it organic.
I'm kind of a computer geek myself, so I understand the draw to it. I loved it on a bunch of levels, and also just the level of what do these kinds of games do to one's psyche.
We have copies of the book and soundtrack CD to give away to the first 10 correct emails with the answer to this question. Cronenberg's controversial film, Crash, was based on a famous book by one of the following authors. Was it A.A. Milne, J.D. Salinger, or J.G. Ballard? The Drowning People is a debut novel which fetched a very large advance for young writer Richard Mason. About a violinist who has just killed his wife, we asked students from the Royal College of Music if it was worth the money.
A difficult passage of pizzicato frequently repeated, which joins the trill as I say my first hellos, has made the tips of my fingers on my right hand ache. I want nothing more to go to bed to dream of my music in peace. I just suddenly thought to myself, nah, we're not like that. We don't quite work like that as musicians, because I can't remember the last time I worried about any kind of trill.
I started and I thought, interesting beginning, because it's left very much in the open. He's meant to have killed he's shot his wife, and you're not really sure why.
I mean, it was a good read, but there were quite a few question marks, and when it started mentioning music and things like that, I thought, just as a musician, I don't think we really talk like that.
Enduring Love by Ian McEwan, which is a fantastic book.
If it was my all-time favourite, and one for escapism, it would have to be Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Jilly Cooper, Appassionata. I mean, it is just a typical Jilly Cooper book like Polo or the other ones that she's written. And it's great fun, you know, if you like that sort of thing.
Publishers Rough Guide have strayed off the travelling track and into the realms of music books.
We're essentially a travel publisher, but we've found we've got this great brand, if you like, that's really working well. It kind of demystifies subjects and makes people feel a bit empowered about whatever the subject is, whether it's travelling in Syria or music or the internet. The first one we did the first one we did was Rough Guide to World Music, which was it kind of came out of the enthusiasm that we had in some of the books for people writing about music as a separate, like a contextual piece about the music of Belize or the music of Kenya or wherever it might be. And we thought we could do a book with all this. It's basically a guide for sitting by your CD player at home, so that next time you get a weird CD you can think, well, what is all this Mongolian throat music or whatever it might be? Find out about it.